There's no shortage of ways to ruin a perfectly good gig. Sometimes it's technical, sometimes it's human error, and sometimes it's beer. This is part 2. 4 more things solo performers do on stage that quietly sink the show while everyone pretends not to notice. I've done them, you've probably done them. Let's stop doing them. Tip 1, don't get drunk while performing. Having a drink on stage? Fine. Becoming the reason people leave early? Less fine. Look, we've all had the odd gig where one beer turns into, wait, where am I in the song? It always starts with you saying, I'd just like to loosen up a bit, and ends with you barely getting through Brown-Eyed Girl like you've just come out of dental surgery. You might think it's charming, but to the crowd, it's just uncomfortable. To the venue, it's a liability, and to the guy filming on Facebook, it's gold. Look, I've been that guy. Was having a great gig. I picked up what I thought was about my 7th pint, and I dropped it straight onto my pedal board. Glass beer, the works. Tripped the power to the entire room. Silence. Except for the sound of my dignity dripping off the delay pedal. I finished the gig acoustically, emotionally, and literally. I was never asked back. Here's the reality. If you can handle one, have one. If you can't, just wait till you pack down. You're not on holiday, you're working. And nothing kills the vibe more than the muso being more cooked than the deep-fried seafood basket. Tip 2, watch your volume. Look, it's just you, a guitar, a voice, maybe a backing track if you're feeling fancy. You're not headlining a stadium, you're playing next to the Keno screen in a $17 lamb shank special. And yet some solo acts fire up the PA like the room comes with bloody confetti cannons and a crowd surfing policy. But I get it. Sometimes it's hard to hear the sound out the front of the house if you're using monitors, and like me, if you're right next to a speaker. But here's the test I use. Look at a table about 5 meters away. If they're leaning in like they're sharing state secrets, you're too loud. If they're talking normally across a table, you're probably in the zone. Or maybe have a little bit of room to nudge it up a bit. But just remember, if the glassware's rattling and the menu board just fell off the wall, dial it back, Slash. Tip 3, winging a set list. I'll be honest, this one's aimed squarely at me. I've got a habit of flying without a set list, thinking I'll just feel it out after every song. And what I end up doing? Standing there like I'm solving a murder while the room slowly forgets I exist. It's not cool. It's just slow. I think it's better to have a set list and break from it if the vibe shifts rather than stall while you scroll through 300 songs wondering if Fast Car is still cool. So yeah, I'm going to take my own advice this weekend. I'm going to make some set lists. Watch me become organised. I know I've got to trim up those silences. Tip 4, don't ignore your setup aesthetic. Yes, you're a musician, not an interior designer, but if your stage area looks like someone's garage exploded, don't be surprised when no one takes it seriously. Look, I get it. My bedroom's a mess. There's a guitar on the bed, 3 coffee cups on the amp, and possibly a sock in the sound hole of my acoustic. But I don't bring that vibe to a gig. So tidy your cables, close your cases. You don't need to look like a day spa brochure, just don't look like your stage was built entirely out of milk crates and regret. So look, if you're mid-gig trying to choose your next song while wiping beer off your delay pedal and wondering why table 3 looks like they're planning on an intervention, just know we've all been there. If this saved you from one awkward silence, a gig meltdown, or near-death experience involving a pint and a pedal board, consider liking, subscribing, or shouting me a virtual beer. If you haven't seen it yet, I've got another video on what not to do on stage. It'll be coming up here in a second. It pairs nicely with this one, like a palmy and a pint of self-awareness. See you in the next one, with a set list, probably.